Thank you, sir. Uh, my particular presentation, I want to make it as simple as possible because those who want to really start their smile refractive practice, probably it may help them. This is my financial disclosure. I am consultant to Carl Zeiss India. So, Relax Smile, which combines the state-of-art femtosecond technology with high precision lenticle extraction, aiming at providing minimally invasive refractive correction. It is a totally flapless procedure. We create a lenticule in the intact cornea and which is removed through a small incision. So no ablation, there is no flap. So it's a single step all femto second procedure which is done by Carl Zeiss Visumax. This is the machine. So these are the advantage when you compare with the other femto machine. The suction is very soft and safe, and the cone what they provide, which is more of a physiological, which is concave in shape. Since it's a single step procedure, you need not have to change the station. And of course, always Zeiss will provide excellent microscope along with the machine. So because of the increase in the intraocular pressure during the procedure is much lesser, so patient will have a less post-operative dry eye. Compared to the examiner system, it is not depend upon any of the external factors. Noiseless and odorless procedure, safety, precision, and the patient can get back to their work immediately. So we are just talking with the previous speaker, Professor Tityal, and even Dr. Rupal's most of the presentation, earlier presentation I used to hear. Because of the property of this relic smile, there is a less energy on the cornea when you compare with the femtoLASIK, especially when you're treating myopia. It gives you better results, even higher stability of the treatment, and you have got a larger effective optical zone. And one more, as sir was telling that he has shown the comparative study between the femtoLASIK and even blade LASIK with the smile. Definitely, the lot of studies shown that it has got a higher biomechanical strength. So chances of uh, lesser chance of ectasia following this procedure. You can start with the 4 incision, then once you become the best, you can go up to 2, or even I have done even 1 incision also. Because of this very small incision, there is a minimal cutting of the corneal nerves. So chances of dry eye will be very less, and also smaller reduction in the corneal sensitivity. Even the less discomfort for the patient for a very small period. So this is what always our Rupal Shah madam used to show this because of lesser induced spherical aberration. And if you see here in the smile, there is a larger effective optical zone when compared to the femtoLASIK. Because of this one, normally patient will have a better vision quality. This is the one video I'm just showing you. Uh, the most basic video tips, and always you should explain. Being a doctor, I myself explain to the patient how exactly patient has to behave on the table. Once you explain to the patient, then very important, optimal application of the anesthetic drop is very important, because don't put excess anesthetic drop, sometimes it may loosen the epithelium. Being a surgeon, I myself check all the parameters in the machine, then I go ahead with the treatment. Once you see the this thing, then machine will start calibrating for that particular patient. This is how it does. Even proper draping and application of the speculum, like any other refractive procedure, is very important in smile for a better outcome. Don't be hurry in put the speculum also. Each small step is also very important. Adequate wash of the ocular surface and the fornix, very important. There should not be any dry. Keep the conjunctiva dry and cornea somewhat like a semi-moist. There should not be any debris. Head position very important. Patient with a longer nose, you can tilt towards the opposite side so that you'll have a better docking. Once connecting and selecting the appropriate cone is very important. For right eye, I normally pick the cone from the right hand, plug into the machine. Then for right eye, I hold the cone in my right hand, then go to the slot, and you will hear a click sound. Once you hear the click sound, machine will start calibrating for that particular cone. Patient with a white to white, almost around lesser than 12 always I prefer to take a cone of smaller size cone, Patient with the white to white, no more than 12 mm, better to take a medium size cone. With a smaller size cone, 80% applanation is more than sufficient. So once the applanation over, then the femtosecond laser treatment starts. It starts with the lenticle cut, then with the side cut. Following the side cut, it will do the cap cut, then with the incision, whatever you adjust. This is a 4 mm incision. This is my initial video. Dissection of the lenticle, very important in that identification of the proper plane. First, you have to identify the anterior plane. Now you have to make a nick there for identifying the posterior plane. Now you dissect the anterior plane by the sort of a windshield wiper movement. Once it's done properly, then go to the posterior plane, dissect it. Last one side you can leave a bit, and once you finish, you can complete that. If you are not finished, sometimes if it is lenticular sticking on that, you can go with the micro forceps. You can pull the lenticle, how I'm doing sort of a something sort of you're doing a reverse axis. And put the initially you put the lenticle over the cornea. Always you should inspect for the integrity of the flap. This is very important. Sometimes with you may take your eyes off, then you may left behind some amount of lenticle inside. Then once the procedure is over, I think all depend upon the your dissection. So talking about irrigating the interface, initially I used to irrigate, in between I stopped. Now once again I started doing the irrigation. So now I'm getting the better result. I really don't know. Probably my dissection level technique might have improved in the coming days. So I always irrigate. These are the few common complications you can follow in smile. Main is suction loss. So it can happen, especially patient with a more anxiety. So you need not have to become panic once there is a suction loss. This is the one main complication you can face during the smile procedure. So once you have a suction loss, especially during the lenticle cut, you can convert into a femtoLASIK on that same table only if you are having an examiner system with you. If the suction loss during all other stages like side cut or cap cut or incision, then you can just follow the instruction on the machine. Then you can reduce the optical zone a little bit smaller, and you can go ahead with that. You can recentration of the suction. Then you can clear the bubbles from the center of the cornea. You can drape one more time. Then you can even immediately you can redock. Then machine will treat in the same plane. Then now I started few of the cases I did, just I wanted to show for those who are really interested. I did something called no dissection lenticular extraction. After the treatment done nicely, you go with the micro forceps with the closed mouth, go make a small notch in this lenticule. You try to hold the lenticule. Even I don't hold any forceps to fixation forceps to fix the eyeball. Only with a small bud I fix up. Try to peel the lenticle both from the bed and the cap. Sort of how you are doing a reverse rhexis in cataract surgery, you can successfully take out. But what I found out in this result, immediate results are fantastic. Enhancement, of course, with the help of circle program or even topo guided PRK. So my message to you all, it's always paying attention to the finer the details when you're doing smile. This is very important. Understand the smile to help your patient smile. So how to market? I think probably most of us been doing the same thing. There are promote the new laser technology with 4 keywords. It's a bladeless, flapless, all femtosecond laser procedure. Now already FDA approved also. You can create a brand awareness about the superior technology available in your premium center. And always smile must be promoted as a new way to correct the refractive error, not as a new concept. So communicate to the patient, it's not a new technique, but it's more of an accurate, predictable, and safer treatment. Of course, in coming days, the correction of hyperopia and presbyopia is expected on the market in the near future. But what I feel, only the good refractive surgeon will be able to practice smile because of their technical skills, and their marketing strategy will make the difference. Definitely, I am a true proponent of this new refractive technology, and this has been tremendously benefit in my center. Till date, I have done hundreds of smile surgery and has been a sweet ride. Thank you once again, Ramurthy sir, and all the chairpersons for this opportunity.